So he goes backstage and he brings out sex dolls, you guys. Sex dolls. What is up, you guys? It's your girl Sarah and I'm Biggity back with another video. As you guys can see by the title, we're gonna be doing a story time. But before we get into the story time, I have a huge announcement to make. So once we get to 1,000 subscribers, I'm gonna be doing a $100 giveaway. Yes, you heard that correctly, a $100 giveaway to a lucky winner. All you have to do is be subscribed to my channel, and if you want to have a little leverage into winning, you can also follow me on my Instagram, which is going to be on the description box below. But all you have to do to be entered in the giveaway is be subscribed. And once we get to 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to be giving away $100 through like Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, whatever. Like, come on, guys. I got y'all and y'all got me, so let's do this. With that being said, let's get into the video. Now, today, story time is gonna be about the time where I watched an R-rated film. Well, it wasn't a film, but it was like an R-rated thing with my family. So before we get into the story, I'm gonna give you guys some back history on why we were watching this film together. So for my birthday, my mom took me, my brother, and my uncle to Las Vegas, right, to celebrate my birthday. So we went to Las Vegas and we were having fun the whole trip. We went there for a week. We were having so much fun. So if you go to Vegas, and if you know anything about Vegas, one of the main attractions is like the Vegas shows. So a lot of people will go like buy tickets to watch the live shows in Vegas, which is what we did. Like every single night we would go to see a different live show in Vegas. And one of these nights we watched a live show. It was like a magician type show. And after that, it was really good, by the way. And after that, we were leaving the auditorium, and as we were leaving the auditorium, we saw people lining up to go into the same auditorium. So we asked around, it was like, what's going on? And then the person that was selling the tickets was like, oh, there's gonna be another show playing in the same auditorium. So my mom, listen to this, my mom was like, oh, we already watched this show, so why not watch the next show? Excuse me. So my brother and I, we was like, nah, we not with it. Like we want to go back to the resort. But she was like, my mom insisted to watch another show. So we got the tickets. We went to go stand in the line. Boom, right? We on the line, we're chopping it up, you know, we're having fun because we had fun on the last show, so we're excited for this new show. And this show was like a hypnosis type of show. So we was like, I bet we about to be hypnotized and see what it do, right? Mind you, I don't believe in no hypnosis stuff, but you know, it's interesting. I want to see what it was all about and if this person can actually do it real, like, you know, really hypnotize people. So we're going into the auditorium, and we got tickets to be seated in the third row. Like we had third row tickets. So we was lit. We was sitting down, my uncle. So it was my mom on this side, me right here, my brother, and then my uncle next to my brother, right? So we're just sitting down, waiting for the show to start. Now, the show was starting, and the hypnotist, he was calling people up to volunteer because he was saying, I don't want you guys to think this is not real, so I want real live audience people to come up and be hypnotized. So my mom, you know, as all moms do, there's like, oh, go on the stage, but I was not going on the stage because I'm not about to get no hypnotized. So I was like, I'm good. So we over here doing a little arguing back and forth, go on the stage, I'm not going on the stage. So at the end, you know, I'm not going on the stage, like, you're not about to make me go on no hypnotizing stage. So there was about 50 people that went on the stage, right? 50 people. So he was doing his little chants or whatever, and after a while he was sending people back to their seat because they weren't getting hypnotized the way that he wanted them to be hypnotized. So the remaining people that was on the stage was like around like 10 or 15 people left on the stage. So he's hypnotized, they're hypnotized, so to speak, they're hypnotized, right? And he's telling them, I'm gonna like bring out a few people because they're really important to the story. So there's one Asian guy, there's one college student, and there's a white guy, and there's this lesbian. And like, these are not to say like they're weird or anything, but like this is like a description of who they were in here. So we're gonna call the Asian guy, we're gonna call him Scratch. We're gonna call the lesbian girl, we're gonna call her Tattoos, because she has some really nice tattoos. We're gonna call the white guy, we're gonna call him Suit, because he was wearing a suit. We're gonna call the college girl, we're gonna call her cornrows. And is there anybody else I'm missing? And this white lady, yes, we're gonna call her Karen, because yo, you're gonna see, we're gonna call her Karen. So the Asian guy, Scratch, the hypnotist was like, oh, every time I say this word or whatever, you're gonna have the urge to be itching your balls. So every time he says this word, Scratch will be going to town on his balls, scratching away. So that was one. The other college girl, we called her, what do we call her? We call her Cornrow. He told Cornrow, every time I touch you, you're gonna be feeling disgusted, like you don't want me. You're like, I'm the nastiest person in the world, and you're gonna be so disgusted by me. Every time he touched Cornrow will be itching away, like she doesn't want to be involved with the guy, the hypnosis. And then the white guy, what was his name? Suit, he was just like, every time I say this word, you're gonna be dancing. Okay. So as we got along from like the show and everything, towards at first it was good. The only thing that was weird was like Scratch itching his balls, and he also made them like dance. He made all 15 people dance on the pole. Like, he brought out a strip pole and had them all like do a strip tease or whatever. And this one like white lady, she was really giving like, she was really serving looks on that pole, when I tell you. And she was a teacher too, like she was an elementary school teacher, and she was doing her thing. So that one was interesting. But as it started getting closer to the end of the show, that's where things started to get really, really weird. So there was Scratch, Cornrow, Tattoos, and Karen left on the stage. Like, the 15 people went off, and there was only those 5 or 4 people, right? So for the girls, Tattoo, Cornrow, and Karen, he told them that they were in a lollipop eating competition, right? So they was like, oh, okay, cool, we're in a lollipop eating competition. Mind you, they're hypnotized, so they're all agreeing, like, yeah, we're in this lollipop eating competition. And so he was like, oh, when I say go, you have to go to town on the lollipop. Like, you have to be the best lollipop eating person in this competition, right? So they're all agreeing, you know, hypnotized, like, yeah, swaying back and forth. So he brings out this brown paper bag, right? And this brown paper bag is like yay big, right? So he brings out this brown paper bag, and he gives it to each of the people's, Karen, Cornrow, and Tattoo. So he gives them the brown paper bag, and they open the bag, and they take out the contents in the bag. And I'm thinking, yeah, it's like one of those carnival lollipops, everything is gonna be nice and sweet. But I was highly mistaken. It was not no carnival lollipop. It was it was a dildo shaped lollipop, y'all. Like, it was a huge dildo shaped lollipop. And it was realistic too. The only one that wasn't realistic was the Tattoo girl's. Hers was rainbow colored. But Karen, she had a black looking pee-pee lollipop. And Cornrow, she had a white looking pee-pee lollipop. So I'm over here just flabbergasted and puzzled as to what's going on. Mind you, my mom, my brother, and my uncle was sitting with me. So I look over to my mom, you know, give her a nice little glance, and she's over here like, her eyes are just so shocked, you know, like a parent that's just so distraught and so disgusted and just so disappointed. That was her. Like, she was just, what? Are you kidding me? This cannot be like, she was just not having it. So I'm over here laughing, kiki with my brother, like, oh, you see mommy boy, look at mommy boy. Like, I'm laughing, we're laughing at my mom because like my mom was not having it. So they go to town, right? So Tattoo and Cornrow, they start, mind you, Tattoo is a lesbian, right? So I'm thinking Tattoo's gonna be like, nah, don't swing this way or whatever, like, I'm good. But when I tell you Tattoo was going in on the PP, like, she was going in on the PP lollipop. I'm over here like, Tattoo, what's going on? Tattoo, y'all, Tattoo, I kid you not, the lollipop was down to her stomach at that point. Like, there was no lollipop left. Like, she was just going in. Karen, the other lady, she had the one with the black looking PP lollipop. She was like, oh, I'm not doing this, right? So I'm thinking to myself, I thought you was hypnotized. Now all of a sudden you break free? Like, come on now, what's going on? So then the hypnotist is like, why? Is it not your color? I was like, first of all, pipe down, cause what? So, and I'm just playing y'all, but like, she was like, no, it's not my color, I don't want this. And the crazy part is that her husband was in the front row. So I'm looking at her husband, I'm just looking at him, and I see his neck turning red, like his face, his neck, his ears is all red. I know he was mad. Like, I know he was mad. When she had that black PP lollipop and she looked down, there was fear in her eye because her husband turned red, and she was like, I can't do it, I'm sorry, I can't do it, like, my husband, So she went to sit down with her husband, and she had the audacity to try to kiss him on the cheek. He was like, don't kiss, like, he literally like, don't kiss me. So she was trying to, like, throughout the rest of the show, she was trying to make him feel better or whatever, probably promising him some goodies when they get back to wherever they're staying. So yeah, Karen was out of there once the last round came. So as Tattoo and Cornrow was going, there was this one person in the audience that was recording, right? The person, I think it was a guy. He was trying to record them doing what they were doing, because when I tell you guys, like, they was really going in. So he's trying to record them, and the ushers starts wailing him out. They're like, you right there, get up. I'm like, yo, what's going on? Mind you, while their ushers is yelling, the people on the stage, they're not stopping their lollipop eating competition. Like, they still going. So I'm just like, what is going on? So their ushers is like, you get up, no recording. Ushers is pressing that person that was recording, and the person was sitting in like the front of the auditorium. So the ushers was like, get up. So the person had to get up and get escorted out of the auditorium, which was embarrassing. So after that, I was like, yeah, I'm not recording. So I wanted to record, but after the ushers pressed that person, I was like, yeah, I'm not about to be pressed, because I'm not about to be embarrassed by these ushers. So after the hypnosis guy was having, you know, his fun or whatever, he told them to stop and they can go back to their seats. So they finished their eating competition, their PP eating competition, and they went back to their seats. Cool, they took their PPs with them. That Tattoo girl, she was mighty happy, so I don't know. So next was the guys' turn. So the girls, they had their little fun, their little eating competition, and now it was the guys' turn. So the hypnotist told the guys, it's Scratch, the Asian guy, and Suit, the white guy. Those were the guys that were left. So the hypnotist told the guys, was like to them, now I want you guys to not pretend, but I want you guys to see yourself as the lead actor in a porn film. Come again. So he tells them that, and he's like, you guys need to show us your best moves. come again. So he tells him that, and he's like, yeah, you guys need to show us your best moves, and I'm gonna bring you guys some props. Come again. So I'm just watching. So he goes backstage and he brings out sex dolls, you guys. Sex dolls. So he gives the suit, he gives the white guy these 2 sex dolls. One of them was black and one of them was white. So he gives those 2 sex dolls to Suit. And Suit doesn't waste no time. Like he takes those sex dolls and he starts going to town, you guys. Like, I'm not about to get into description, but you guys know, like, if you guys watch whatever, you know, he goes into town with those 2 sex dolls, right? And I didn't expect Suit to have that agility, because Suit, let me give you a description of Suit. Suit was a white man. He looked like he worked in an office, like an office type job, and he had like a pear shape to him. Like, he was like boom, you know, he looked like a cartoon character. So it would go down and then it would go like boom, right? So, and he was big, like he was tall, so he looked just so derpy and nerdy and everything, which I'm not saying it's bad, because like I love nerds, but he just had that look to him, like, yeah, I don't think he knows what he's doing. But he proved me wrong, because he was really going to town on those 2 sex dolls. So for Scratch, the Asian guy, he tried to be funny and bring out a horse doll that had, like, you know, and I'm just like, what? That wasn't funny. So then the Scratch was like, I don't want that. Like, and then the hypnosis was like, oh, you don't want this? Okay, let me get you another one. So he went back and then he brought out an alien doll. And at that point, I was looking at the hypnosis like, was this supposed to be a joke that I forget? Like, I'm forgetting to laugh, because I don't understand why not bring him some humans. Like, at that point, I was like, okay, wrap it up, let's go home, because what? So to my surprise, the Scratch was like, okay, I can work with that. I don't know what stuff he be into, but he was feeling that alien doll. So they was going in, and when I tell you, this like whole movie lasted for like 10 to 15 minutes. We was just sitting in the crowd watching them go to town on these dolls. Like, we was really like, it was like we was at home by ourselves, like, you know, kids at home by ourselves, or grown-ups too, at home by ourselves, having a little me time, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's something that you do in your own private time. But as you're in a crowd of people and you can look around and everything, I'm looking around and I'm just seeing these people just like as confused as I am. Some people are enjoying it, you know, the weirdos in the back, they're enjoying it, but like a majority of the people are just like, is this for real? Because this is so uncomfortable. Like, so they're doing their thing, you know, thrusting, doing different moves and showing us what they got. Things started getting a little graphic and stuff, and that was nasty. So that ended, and yeah, that was basically like the finale, the finishing act. So when everything was done, the hypnosis had the audacity to tell us, oh, if you guys like this show, you can buy the DVD. So they were recording these people on the stage doing nonsense, and you can buy the DVD to watch the show. That's why they didn't want nobody recording, because they was about to sell their little DVD, their little film. So, and he was like, oh, the DVD is gonna be, I think he said $59.99 or something like that. It was like kind of expensive to watch some stream, well, you know what I'm saying, like it was mad expensive. So I was like, you know, who's buying that? So he's talking about the DVD, he's not letting nobody leave until like he finishes like selling the little DVD, like, you know, pitching the product. He's like, okay, you guys can leave, the show is done or whatever. When I tell you, we were sitting in the front, and the back of the auditorium is where you get let out, and there's people in the back of the auditorium, so you know they're closest to the door. But when I tell you, my mom was the first person out of that auditorium. She was gone. Like, when he says, okay, he was like, okay, you guys are ready to boom, my mom was like, the track star, you know what I'm saying? Like, she was mad fast. So I look down, get my purse, look up, and she's gone. I'm like, yo, where did mommy go? I'm leaving, I'm looking for her in the crowd. I don't see her anywhere. I leave the auditorium like a few minutes later because, you know, everybody's rushing out. I see her right outside talking about we're gone, we're leaving. I'm like, yo, how fast are you to leave the auditorium that fast? No, she was out. So, you know me, jokester of the day, I was looking at her, I was like, did you enjoy the show? She was just like, I cannot believe this. I wouldn't, like, she was just not having it. She was like, I don't want to hear nothing about the show. I don't want to talk to you about the show. I'm done. And then she wasn't mad at me, but she was just like not having the show. So we went to our resort. My mom, you know, she chilled out in her jacuzzi or whatever, you know, she calmed down. We haven't spoke about that day since, like, we have not talked about that day. And yeah, that was basically the end of my story, you guys. If you guys enjoyed this story, please like, comment, and subscribe. I had such an amazing time telling you this story. Like, I had fun. Please join the family, subscribe. I'm going to be informing you more about the giveaway as time progresses and as we get closer to our goal. And with that being said, I love you guys so much, like from the bottom of my heart. I really love you guys for watching this video, and I hope to see you on my next video. Bye guys.